Hello, everyone. Good day. Today we're going to be talking about teaching writing. So get your coffee. Let's have a coffee break during the discussion. No? So let's start with teaching writing. Okay. Last time this is the last macro skills that we're going to be learning. So last time we had teaching of reading. So teaching of writing. Writing is a communication. It can reach across space and time to instruct, okay, to entertain and to touch others. So when I say it can reach across space and time, what you write now may be immortalized in the libraries, diba? So it is a powerful way of sharing ideas and feelings. But if the writer has nothing to say, writing will not occur, of course, no? This lesson will focus on the process-oriented approach to teaching writing. So maraming approach, pero I'm just going to be teaching you one since you're going to be having other writing classes. You're going to be exploring more approaches there. So for now, let's have the process-oriented approach. So to start with, let's start with our objectives. So our objective for today is we have to explain the process-oriented approach to writing, provide opportunities for students to become creative and responsible for their own learning, use effective strategies in an attempt to unlock potential difficulties in the pre-writing, the actual writing, and the post-writing stage. So, sir, tatlo na naman ang kanyang steps. Yes po. Like reading, writing is the somehow the next form of reading. Siya yung next step. So, it's only expected that it has three steps. So, we have the pre-writing, actual writing, and the post-writing. In this video, we are going to be looking at some examples, and more examples can be seen in your module. So, let's start now. So before anything else, we have to get the principles of teaching writing. So what's the principle behind this teaching writing? This also envelops why we need to teach writing. Okay. Writing literacy starts in the early years of child development. Um, Writing should be reinforced all throughout the years. So it should start at a very early age. So sa elementary pa lang or preschool pa lang, they start writing. They start writing their names muna. Then they start writing words, then they start writing sentences, paragraphs. Next is mga compositions na yung ganon. And then we reinforce it. We strengthen it, we deepen it, we make it better. Okay, so is there a final stage for writing? No, there's not. No, there's always room for improvement in writing. So we just keep on developing it. So that's your job as teachers of macro skills. Next is writing as a creative act. Among all, writing has the most freedom. No, when I say writing has the most freedom, kasi may editing dito, may thinking time. You have ample time in writing compared to speaking. So the creativity that it covers is much more than the other macro skills. No, you can create worlds, you can create characters, you can create gods, you can create villains, you can create monsters in the form of writing. That's how beautiful writing is. Next is writing experiences should be child-centered. When we say child-centered, it should be self-taught. No, there's no other way of developing a child's writing skill than being self-taught. I mean, we just provide the catalyst, we just provide the activities, we just provide the techniques, the strategies, and it's up to the child to develop it on their own. That's why it's child-centered. So they have to be deeply motivated to actually develop writing skills. Next is writing for meaning is paramount. Okay, this is very important. The purpose of writing. Why do we write? Okay, what to write about and why do we write it? So that's very important. Okay, reading and writing, like speaking and listening, are inseparable processes. So as we discussed on the earlier modules, yung sa mga una pa nating module, this is inseparable because reading is the input for writing. Writing is the output of reading. So the more you read, the better, the more potential you'll have in writing. So you cannot be a good writer if you're not a reader. So that's the first step. So reading and writing. So make sure before you proceed to advanced writing, make sure that the learner or the student is already good in reading or fluent in reading or um, literate already in reading. So magaling na siya magbasa, marami na siyang nabasa, so many inputs, so many schema and techniques, nakita niya na dun sa mga binasa niya. And then, um, it's time for the student to write now, to create their own. That's why this is inseparable. Okay? So let's now proceed to the process-oriented. Yeah. Process-oriented approach to writing is a three-step manner. No, we have the pre-writing, the writing, and then the post-writing. Okay, pre-writing. These are the things that we have to consider in the pre-writing. We have to setting the purpose, determining the audience, selecting information, and generating. Remember, in your purposive communication, we have discussed that setting the purpose, same with speech, 'di ba? Speech making, no? Setting the purpose, ano ba ang gagawin mo? Ano para saan ba 'to? For what purpose am I doing this writing? Why am I writing on the first place? Next is determining the audience. Who will read what I write? Selecting information. This is what we call research also, no? We gather research regarding the things that we are going to be writing. Is something uh, is the one I writing original, or is it a revision of something else? Diba? Does it have something in the internet that says the same? So, ganon, no? Next is generating. You now generate your own ideas. So, you formulate in your own strategies, in your own styles, okay? Um, Writing, on the writing process, we have the drafting, revising, and rewriting. For the post writing, we edit what we have written, and then we publish it. So let's proceed to pre-writing first, okay? So we have here a sample of techniques that you could do in pre-writing. So you can have your students do brainstorming. The purpose is to discover ideas for possible exploration, no? Independently or in groups. So pwedeng group brainstorming or independent group brainstorming. Students will generate as many ideas as possible from a given starting point. Okay, you can have instructional materials regarding this. One instructional material that you could use is you have you will write a word in the middle and write all the ideas around it. No? So let's say love. So what comes into your head when you hear the word love? So key to peace and brotherhood, greatest commandment, it conquers all, succeeds over evil, patient, kind, sacrificing, harmonious relationship, easy to forgive. So those are the things that you can brainstorm. So these are possible topics in discussing love. So ganun lang po kadali ang brainstorming, no? So that's just one technique that you can use, okay? Next is discussion. Okay? Students talk about an assignment as they debate ideas to clarify thoughts and opinions. No? It gives students a conception of opposing ideas and opinions. So when we say discussion, it's more like not debating, but more on discussing with with their classmates, together with teachers or other people na nasa labas ng classroom, to share thoughts and opinions. Because in writing, you have to gather as much data as you can. So, hindi pwedeng one-sided lang na point of view mo lang lahat-lahat talaga. So, gathering ideas from other people or debating about the ideas that you're going to be writing is a very good way to actually um, enrich or make your writing more complex and make your writing a bit broader than it is. Okay? So, for example, you want to write about reading books. So, you have to ask other students, what are the benefits of reading books? What do you think are the benefits of reading books? You can ask experts, you can ask teachers. Diba? Why should we choose the books we have to read? So, those that can be debated upon by your classmates, you or your friends or your teacher. No? Next is it cater creative thinking. When I say creative thinking, you let your students try to look at usual objects in unusual ways. Okay, what I do with this, I call this actually defamiliarization. No? Later on in your creative writing, you'll be using this a lot, no? So making usual objects something unusual. So that's defamiliarization. To make something familiar, unfamiliar. So what if dogs could fly? So that's one question. What if there were no wheels? Anong itsura ng mundo kung walang gulong? Ano kayang ginagamit ng sasakyan ngayon, di ba? What if the Earth did not have gravity? So, di ba magandang isipin na walang gravity, we won't have legs, wala tayong legs. Kasi hindi naman natin kailangan maglakad kasi walang gravity. So, that's the possibilities, no? When you read literary pieces, say for example, the short story of Ray Bradbury, no? Medyo weird siya mag-isip, no? Bahay na nagsasalita. Okay? Robot na aso, 'di ba? Acidic rain. So, ganun yung ano niya eh, ganun yung creativity niya. So, ganun lang ginawa niya. Look at usual objects such as the house and make it unusual such as nagsasalita. So, yun. Next is you can use clustering. Okay, this is a method of visually presenting the end results of a brainstorming or discussion session. Students record the relationship using the lines or stages to show the relationship of one idea to another. Um, we call this charts. We can have maps. Okay, when I taught my students in senior high school, I asked them to draw a line, and then divide their story into those lines, and each line would cater one chapter of the story. Okay, each line should show minor conflict, minor conflict, and then the whole story should show major conflict. So ganon. So sila ang nagdiskarte, may nagpa-flashbacking, may kung ano-ano. But once you do this chart, you'll be guided in writing. Hindi ka maubusang idea. Okay? One more thing is ideas trees. Yon. Ideas trees is a method that you can use. It's a visual method. You write a word and then you create like a tree form. No? May root siya, may trunk siya, may head siya. Okay? So ganon yung pwedeng style. So you can play with this clustering. Okay? Next is cubing. Ano bang cubing, sir? Cubing is this involves a swift or quick consideration of a subject from 6 points of view. Okay, when I say 6 point of view, you simply ask six good questions about it. Let's start with describe it. So, okay, the first thing you do is you describe it. Next is you compare it. Next is you associate it, analyze it, apply it, and then argue for it. Not in this order. Okay, I'm not saying that this should be the order in your writing. Let's say you're making a story or you're making an essay about it. Ito na yung order na gagamitin nyo. That's why I did not put A, B, C, D, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because this is not in a specific order. This is just to gather the ideas that you could use, that you are going to be using in your writing. Okay, so in cubing, okay, here are some examples. So you are to describe it, examine the topic or object closely, and tell what you think it is all about. So, describe it. Hindi lang yung i-google mo lang or i-wiki mo lang kung ano siya, di ba? Next is you compare the topic. So, to others, ano ba ang mga similar words regarding this, similar statements? Next is you can associate it. What does it remind you of? So, ano ba ang kapareho ng love? Let's say love. We used love earlier. So, let's use love. Ano ba ang kapareho nito? Passion, infatuation. So, maraming pwedeng i-associate dito sa word na to. Okay? So, let's now proceed to, this is the pre-writing. These are example of techniques. So, there are more. It just use your imagination in creating techniques in pre-writing, but this is the basic. Okay? So don't be limited by my example. Look for your own if you want. Okay. Next is the writing. Um, Students develop their notes and outlines into sentences and then paragraphs. They organize their ideas generated in the pre-writing stage. So they generate it from the pre-writing stage into a meaningful, more conventional organized discussion applying certain rules. Ano ba mga rules within the writing process? We can have the rhetorical, the linguistic rules, the mechanical rules. What we mean by mechanical rules? Mechanical rules is how, kumbaga, ang apunta kayan sa creative writing is the oneness, no? How it moves like one mechanical thing, no? Like an engine. Every part should be contributing to it. Ganun siya. Okay? It's oneness. Okay? Writing the draft does not occur once. Okay? Hindi siya isang beses lang ang draft, no? Huwag magtatamad po sa writing. Students may find themselves going back and forth among the different stages, especially the writing, revising, rewriting cycle. So ulit-ulit 'yon hangga't hindi ka satisfied sa magandang output, you keep on writing, revising, and then rewriting. Okay? So here are some examples of techniques that you could use for composing and drafting paragraphs. Okay? First is highly structured. Okay? The writer works from very complete pre-writing notes. Okay? Changing little of the context or organization. This means that during the pre-writing, halos kompleto na yung details. Okay? It's not just words na tiglalagay mo lang doon and then na-expand mo na lang. Highly structured requires a very highly prepared pre-writing. Okay? So, dapat pre-writing medyo kompleto na. So, konting-konti na lang yung babaguhin mo. It can be the order or you just add conjunctions, you change the word, ganun na lang kakonti ang gagawin mo. Next is loosely structured. Loosely structured is the writer works from rough notes. When I say rough notes, phrases lang, statements lang from your notes during the pre-writing, yun lang yung gagamitin mo. And then medyo marami-rami na rin ang kailangan mong baguhin so that you can create a very good paragraph. Next is bridges. Okay? The writer begins with 2 to 3 main points or situations to be covered during the drafting. Okay? Meron lang siyang parang key idea, keywords, key phrases. Yun na yung papalaguin niya. So this is called bridges. Okay? Usually sa exam, ganito di ba ang ginagamit natin? Quick draft. The writer works quickly, not stopping to refine ideas or to rework material until the revising stages. So just keep on writing. So just write. Kung may mali, di sige, go lang. Dahil po, pag revise, doon ko na lang babaguhin. That's one technique po. Dire-diretso lang. Next is slow draft. Slow draft is the writer works meticulously, carefully crafting one sentence or paragraph at a time. So, opposite siya ng quick draft. Okay? Slow draft, dapat pa habang humahaba yung paragraph or nabubuo yung sa yung sinusulat, it should be perfect already or near perfect already. So para pag-revise, konti na lang yung i-adjust. Okay? But both of which are effective. You cannot use both, obviously. So pipili ka lang dito. These are examples, okay? These are examples. You can look for other techniques online. You can look for other techniques from books. Ask teachers. So for now, these are the examples that I'll be showing you. Okay? Let's now proceed to revising and proofreading. Okay, as teachers, obviously you are going to be proofreading works or revising works. Okay, so how do we revise and proofread works? A writer's main goal is to make sure that the ideas are expressed clearly and organized logically. So dapat magandang order nung chine-check mo. Proofreading to correct errors in grammar usage and mechanics is also important. But the greatest part of revising time is spent on content. Yung laman. Dapat minor na lang ang grammar. Okay? There are many methods of revising. A writer chooses a method that suits his or her personal style and the needs of a particular piece of writing. Okay? So, iba-ibang style ng pag-proofread and revise. So, feel free to choose which one you'll be using in your class. Okay? So what are the things that you should consider while proofreading or revising? Okay? Check all ideas and details are related to the topic and purpose. So make sure hindi siya nag-segue na dun sa main topic niya. So one way to check this is to let's say it's an essay, you have 5 paragraphs dun sa essay ng student mo. Make sure that each paragraph is still related to the title itself. Kung may isang paragraph dyan na hindi na relate sa title, nag-segue na yon. Okay? Next is refine good ideas and add any new ones that could improve the content. So, never be afraid to actually add more ideas to it. Kasi minsan pag revise, sasabihin natin edit na lang, magtatanggal na lang ng something doon, revise a sentence, but you can actually add more to it. Okay? Next is make certain that the purpose of the piece of writing is clear and that the content of the writing suits the purpose. Okay? So yung malinaw siya. I mean, the clarity, how the idea is presented, is it organized? Is it clear? When I say the writing suits the purpose, I mean, naaangkop ba yung level of writing niya sa purpose nito? Let's say you're writing a children's book. You can't use things like this, that the one you see in my PowerPoint. You can't use those things, no? You have to use simple words, simple sentences for preschool students. Now, kung babaliktarin ko naman, if I write like a preschool student and present it to you, ma-stress kayo kasi ganun ang way of delivering ang lesson ko, di ba? Next is check that each sentence flows smoothly to the next. Okay? So, dapat hindi nakakat yung idea. Minsan kasi nakakalimutan, next paragraph na dapat, hindi pa nag-next paragraph. Okay? Make sure that language and content are suitable to the audience. Okay? So, make sure, let's say you're going to be you're writing a speech grad, on your graduation, then it should be formal. Okay? You may insert a couple of jokes there, but it should remain solemn still, no? Because it's a solemn event. Okay? Substitute precise, vivid words for vague language. Okay? When we say vague language, these are, di ba minsan pag hindi natin nakukuha ang eksaktong katumbas niya, kahulugan, we try to describe it in a very long sentence. So instead of that, you can substitute more accurate words. One word lang, one sentence na yan. Okay? This is also to avoid redundancy, wordiness. No? Hindi po pahabaan ang essay. Okay? Hindi po pahabaan ang writing. What we are after is the clarity of the content. Proofreading for errors in grammar, usage, and mechanics. This step usually occurs to some extent while the writer is drafting and revising content. But it's better to reserve until after the shaping of ideas is complete. So, hindi mo na grammar, later na yon. Just the idea, yung idea lang muna. Bakit ganon? Bakit sir hindi agad i-check yung grammar? Um, Ganito kasi. Once you check the grammar, the usage and mechanics, and then revise the content, when it comes back to you for the second proofreading, may error na naman yung sa grammar. So what's uh what's the use of your first proofread na nag-error ulit sa grammar sa susunod, di ba? So why not perfect the content first, then you check the grammar. So para isahan beses ka lang mag-check ng grammar. Okay? So here I'm going to be showing you techniques for revising and proofreading. So we can have conference. Okay? When you do oral evaluation, concentrate on both the student's strengths and weaknesses. So during the conference, you can answer questions the student will ask. Okay? So conference yan. So sama-sama kayo, you do oral evaluation, sabihin mo ganito tong writing na to, ganito siya, ganito siya. And then your students are free to ask you questions and then you'll of course answer it. So next is peer evaluation. In pairs or small groups, have students critique each other's writing through peer evaluation. So kumbaga exchange papers, yan. And then check the work of your seatmate or your partner. So for this peer evaluation, medyo risky. Bakit risky po? Kasi hindi pa master no nag-check. So what you do is you give them guide questions. Okay? So example of guide questions would be, did I understand the composition? Naintindihan mo ba? Okay. Malinaw ba? May nawawala ba? May kulang ba? So these are examples of guide question during the peer evaluation. Okay? Next is, what's the benefit of peer evaluation? Medyo light, I mean, not light, but not demoralizing. I mean, the self-esteem will remain intact because ang feedback galing sa friend mo or classmate mo. Ba? So it's okay. Next is you can use group questioning. After one student in a group reads a piece of writing out loud, the other student asks questions to pinpoint incomplete information. So in doing this activity, make sure it's not an interrogation no scene. I mean, hindi ina-attack yung tao, okay? So, this is not to point out that that person is not good, but this is to ask for the help of the group to edit your work, okay? So, parang group revisions, okay? Next is you create an editorial group. So, you assign 3 students. So, one author, editor, and proofreader. So, yun. One is oral reading. So you make them read it. And then, kasi ganito, di ba? It may look good in writing, but when you listen to it, it's not correct. It's not good. So that's where oral reading comes in. Kasi makakarinig ka dyan ng out of place or awkward statements that is not properly placed in the text. So that's the effect of oral reading. Next is performance. Okay. For piece in which the writer has explained a process, another student tries to follow the written direction. Let's say you're writing a how-to manual. Okay. When we say how-to manual, yung mga DIY. So how-to manual. So you let other students try it. So gawin nyo nga tong sinulat nito kung magagawa nyo. And then if it's good, then I mean, if lumabas yung product na gusto nyo, then congratulations, the writing is good. However, if there are confusions, if there are certain unclear statements, so magkakaroon ng error yung sa kanyang performance. Last po is clinics. Okay? In workshops or clinics, you may give instruction to students with similar writing problems. This may involve completing directed exercises or working together to solve common problems. Okay? Workshop coffee sessions, you'll be having this. You'll be trying this when you reach fourth year, I think, or third year sa creative writing ninyo. So, I think this would be facilitated with by Sir Jerome and other good writers. So, you'll be experiencing this. Next is post writing. Okay, now you're done. Okay, so you've done your pre-writing, you're done your writing. Now post writing. What should be done next? So post writing, publishing and sharing. This is the final stage of the writing process. After completing a draft or final copy of the piece, students are given the opportunity to share their work with others. Kasi wala naman, anong purpose nung sinulat mo kung hindi mo share? So this is the post writing activity. This new audience can be family members, friends, classmates, general public, the web, the internet, the books, library, and things like that. Okay. So how do we share this information? This is for publishing and sharing. Sir, bakit sir ang proofreading and revising nasa writing? Kasi hindi po siya post-writing. When we say post-writing, tapos na. Okay? You have your draft. So, nandun pa yun sa writing kasi hindi ka aalis doon hanggat hindi siya finalized or polished. Okay? So, how do we share this? We can use booklets, we can use bulletin boards, newspaper, magazines, reading and performance. Um, when we say reading and performance, you may actually do this in public. So, you may read your work in public, okay? Or make a performance out of it. Letter exchanges, sorry, letter exchanges. So, yan ang mga pwede mong gawin para i-share ang mga information mo. Okay? So, marking. Okay, sa proofreading. So, Wait. We have impression marking, holistic approach, evaluation by peers, cooperative grading, and I self-evaluation and conferencing. So here, wait, impression marking. This is impression. Sorry, impression with N. Impression marking is the simplest and quickest approach to a realistic uh, to the holistic grading of students' papers is to read them quickly without circling errors. So wala ka munang mamarkahan sa kanya. It's just like A plus, B plus, B minus. And ganun lang. Score lang para mabasihan lang what's the impression of the composition of itself as a whole. Okay? Next is holistic. From the word itself, holistic, it means para siyang interdisciplinary or the wholeness, the kabuuan from impact, from inventiveness, from creativity. So maraming factors. So it's up to you to what factors you're going to rate the work. Okay? Next is evaluation by peers. So katulad nung una natin kaninang sinabi that peer sa proofreading. So you can use that. Cooperative grading. Okay, sa cooperative grading, you create a specific criteria prior to the reading. Bago pa magbasa, may criteria na kayong gagawin. So we will be having these criterias to rate your work. Okay? So next is self-evaluation. So you ask the student to ask themselves, okay? You ask the student to ask themselves key questions about what they wrote. So what is the piece about? So what am I trying to do? So what if I have written this? So what if the people read this? So that's self-evaluation. Okay? Next is conferencing. Di ba, diniscuss na natin yung conferencing. Okay? So thank you for watching. Okay? Check your module for the activity and more examples. I've actually written a lot of examples there that you could check out. So, yun.